All right, well, with the interim budget, the key focus areas, of course, remain housing, rooftop solar, and one of the biggest allocations for the infrastructure space, 11% hike to 11 lakh crore rupees. And I'm now joined by the chairman of HCC, Mr. Ajit Gulabchand. Sir, a record allocation again, sir. A record year by year, we are seeing constant hike in capex for highways and other sectors as well, sir. What is your first remarks of the budget, sir?
See, my first remarks are that the 3 points. One is he's kept the course with his vision of 2047 to make India a developed country, which means it will have to spend a lot on the infrastructure, which he has kept up by announcing this. Though it's an interim budget, it talks of a bigger allocation to be in the offing. Second important thing is that those who are left behind also have been taken care of. And so it is inclusiveness has not been foregone for the sake of infrastructure. And whilst doing all this, they have also managed to keep a certain responsibility, fiscal responsibility, by bringing the fiscal the deficit down to 5.1. Maybe somebody will want it at 4.5, but nevertheless, it is a responsible act. And I think to show fiscal responsibility at one end, inclusiveness in a big way at the other end, as well as building on infrastructure, which is the foundation for substantial investment. What we now would like to see, and which is a signal given, that they would do the necessary reforms. You know, when we talk of animal spirits, you don't just say, come on, let your animal spirits loose. They don't come like that. The environment exists, it happens. So from that point of view, they've given an assurance there also that they will do the necessary reforms that will create that environment so that people will invest.
Sir, also I'd like to ask you on, we were before that we were expecting big bag announcements for defense, shipping, railways. Railways has happened. Highways has of course been given good allocation, but nothing very spectacular of populism. Do you think the government is now patiently waiting and acting mature by not announcing any populist measures and waiting for the real budget in June or July?
I think one is that.
Okay.
Just now they didn't want to rock the boat with too many things. They would talk more about their achievements and staying on course for the big 2047. More important just now, even on defense. Don't forget, Indian investment in defense is very new. So far, it was only either government ordnance factories or you had people who bought it from abroad. So it will take some time for them to become a regular, inclusive part of Indian expenditure and the involvement of private sector. You now have very few players. It will start increasing. So I don't see why they have not talked about it. But they will talk about it when the time comes, when the full budget is there. But what is important here is they have not tinkered around. They have not created so sense of stability. But our push on growth will continue. We're looking after those who are left behind will continue, and other inclusive measures. At the same time, we will be fiscally responsible for doing this. I think these are very important signals that they've given.
Sir, also, towards fag end, sir, you being a major player in highways construction as well, sir, do we expect that the government should now start reviving the PPP model?
Yes.
That was that had earlier died down. Now it's coming to revival.
There are many reforms are required as yet for that investment to become real. Much as we talk, it doesn't. One of the reasons PPP did not go forward too much was that too much risk was put on the private sector partner. The risk has been very unevenly shared. And it's a view, but no, you have now private sector, this is all yours. Now, that they have to change. And we have been pressurizing from industry also that bring about the change in this. And you will get more PPP projects happening. PPP funding will also come. Because everybody is afraid. Take simple example. The total project cost. The total project cost is created by somebody not necessarily well done. Then it's a long time since it was created. So what you finally get is a different cost on which you say, but if anything goes wrong, we will only pay you total project. So the difference then is
Borne by the developer.
which the banker wants. Now, Moment you have PPP, it has to be recourse only to the project.
Absolutely.
Without that, bankers will ask, and therefore you see most foreign companies are not coming in PPP. Already done project, yes, constructed. So I think there are many issues that are still to be tackled. There needs to be changes there need to be reforms in that area, where we will make sure that the investment climate goes up, and that really excites people to release their animal inside them to invest. But nevertheless, I think it's in the right direction.
Okay.
We could have gone all right. In fact, I just heard a few words of the Prime Minister speaking afterwards. And he was obviously pointing out how he has maintained all the schemes of welfare, which is very good. And I think at this time to expect more would be wrong.
Of course, before I let you go, the hybrid annuity model actually, brings up a mechanism where the risk is equally shared by the government and private players as well.
But hybrid,
Why not in PPP? Then can the government be proactive and introduce, sir?
I think we have to go through a learning curve.
Okay.
We began,
Yeah.
it went off very well.
Correct.
Again, we started curtailing. Then we created alternatives. Can we do hybrid? Then we find that hybrid has got its own problems. So I think we are going through the learning curve.
Okay.
And we will, because we will need that investment. And for that, you will have to have a change. And that change will come.
Sure. All right. Well, that was Mr. Ajit Gulabjan talking about the much required change, especially in the highway sector. If a country like India needs private sector participation, and that too on an aggressive note. Thank you, Mr. Gulabjan, for joining us. Pleasure as always. Thank you.